The primary defect in autism is in the organization and streamlining of neural network data processing. Therefore, we suggest a computerized, real-time feedback signal augmentation to help autistic children. SmartFeet is a technology that has 3 critical innovations: a shoe-based computer, induced mutations and biosensors in neural cells that allow them to function as two-way wireless transmitters, and a method of directed placement of these altered cells to facilitate optimal
Wait a minute.
In
Nothing
order to
genetic here. What's going on? Let's get the scientists out here to explain what's going on here. Please welcome Joy Jasik and Hermanth Asirvatham. Why in heaven's name would we want to listen to that when we have you guys? Welcome. 5th graders, please.
So, good afternoon. We really appreciate this opportunity to share our idea about a new, hopefully, a new treatment for autism that hopefully be able to be used in the future. My name is Hermanth Asirvatham, and this is my partner, Joy Jasik.
Hi. So, what is autism? Well, defining it is not easy, but we know that autism is a complex neurodevelopmental disorder. Individuals with autism have trouble with social interaction and communication and can sometimes have peculiar and/or repetitive behaviors. Okay. I think my note cards are ready. What? Okay. So how common is autism? Autism is not one specific disease, but rather a spectrum of disorders. On one end of the spectrum, we have individuals with severe learning disabilities. On the other end, we have very talented individuals who still only have trouble with social interaction and communicating. The Center for Disease Control estimates that 1 in 88 children are diagnosed with autism, but more recent reports suggest it could go as high as 1 in 40 children. Sorry. Okay. So, what causes autism? The exact cause of autism is unfortunately not yet known, but however, it is thought to be gene mutations and environmental factors that can lead up to autism. There is no known cure for autism.
Since the cause for autism is genetic and environmental, why would we approach this problem with an electrical solution? In autism, it appears that some neurons can't connect, receive, process, and send information as fast and accurately as others. Since in the brain, the informational processing is electrical and the communication is electrical, we would explore the possibility of solving this problem with an electrical solution. The word autism was coined by a doctor named Eugene Bleuler in 1911, which was later used to describe some children who had trouble connecting with their parents. Coincidentally, one of the first attempted treatments for this disorder was electrical. An electroconvulsive therapy was attempted in the 1930s, but even though there were positive results, it is not used today because they're only controversial. They actually tried, some doctors actually tried in the 1960s to use LSD. Although there were positive results, it's not used today for obvious reasons. One of the weirdest ever attempts to cure this disorder ever tried was a parentectomy. Some doctors believe that the cause of autism is because of a cold, unnurturing mother, and that these children should be removed from their parents and put in foster homes. This didn't work at all, and it's not used today. Nowadays, we approach autism with a variety of treatments, such as diet, behavioral therapy, drugs, and sometimes even chelation. But all of these only attack the symptoms, not the core of autism itself.
Okay. So let me introduce to you the members of our solution team. We have a biocompatible radio transmitter, modified astrocytes, a transduction technique for electrical signals, and a shoe-based computer.
So the first key member of our solution team are the radio transmitters. For these transmitters to get into the body and for them to stay there, we will need them to be nanoscale, so they'll be injectable, and for them to be biologically compatible, so they can stay in the body. We can't just inject these transmitters straight into the brain, so we would need to use a cell from the peripheral blood as a carrier for these transmitters. One of the issues with this is that there is a blood-brain barrier. There are very few cells that can cross this. One of them is the astrocyte, which can be found, astrocyte progenitor cell, which can be found in the peripheral blood. We would extract these astrocytes from the bloodstream, inject the nanoscale biologically compatible radio transmitters, and put them back into the bloodstream and send these now modified progenitor cells up to the brain. Once these cells have reached the brain, they will eventually develop into various nerve cells and join the neural network. As I mentioned before, in autism, the core problem is that these cells can't, some nerve cells can't process information as well as others, and that the brain is virtually just electrical in origin. So how our idea would work is that once these cells have joined the neural network, they will start receiving the neuronally coded signals will start going through them. There will be 3 pieces of technology inside each cell. One will be a sensor to pick up these signals, and the second will be a transducer to convert these signals from the neuronal language to a radio wave, and the third will be the radio transmitter to send the signal from one cell to another, therefore skipping the faulty neuron, or whatever nerve cell it is. The last part of the project is the shoe. A computer will be in the shoe that will monitor through cameras and programs and oversee these modified nerve cells and the radio transmitters to see how they're functioning, and if it has to fix something, it can. In a real-time fashion, it'll do this. There are some breakthroughs that need to be made before this project can become a reality. One is the development of better gene delivery vehicles. These would have to carry the radio transmitters and the other pieces of technology into the astrocyte without the cell rejecting them. Also, we would need to have the development of better biologically compatible radio transmitters. They can function on low power and accurately. And most importantly, third, we need to have a better transduction technique to convert these neuronally coded signals to radio waves and vice versa. And also we would need to have the neuronal, the neuronally coded stuff would have to be, we need to understand it better because it's just, we don't understand it good enough now, and we just need to improve our understanding of that. Yes. So in summary, first we start with the astrocytes, and then we use gene delivery vehicles to bring in the radio transmitters, transducers, and sensors. They will enter multiple of these astrocyte progenitors, and then these will be put back into the bloodstream. They will go into the brain, and then a shoe will, like with special cameras and programs, will monitor these astrocytes and their radio transmitters. And then as the cells now are communicating wirelessly, so they don't have to they will skip the faulty cell. Sometimes they'll even communicate from the brain to the shoe, so the shoe can see how they're going, how it's going on, if there's any problems in the brain. Thank you for this opportunity. Thanks.
Fantastic. You two are very brave, I have to say. You're extraordinarily brave. So let me just get this straight. All we have to do is figure out about the nanotransmitters, figure out how the brain works, and get the computer to work in the shoe. Aside from that, we're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. All right. Spoken like scientists, and that's part of your bravery here. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You're fifth graders?
Sixth graders.
Sixth graders. Where do you go to school?
I go to the Friedel,
Yeah, we both
the
go to
gifted
Friedel.
program.
And that's right here in this community?
Yes.
Yes, I see. And what was it about your background, your, I don't know, encounter with autism that caused you to ask these scientific questions? What is it in your life that caused you to get passionate about this?
It was just always I've liked the brain and electricity, and I thought that there's so many disorders in the brain, why can't we just cure one of them? I've been exposed to autism at my school because it is a center for autism, and it kind of worked out. This project went along with autism.
So you know folks who've been diagnosed on the autism spectrum.
Yes.
What do they say about this project you're working on?
Well,
We haven't really talked to
We
them
didn't really talk
that.
to any of the.
We might a little later, but
Yeah,
not
maybe.
yet.
Well, if you get a grant, right? I mean, who knows what you could do if you get a grant. Now, why did you choose a project that really depends on some extraordinary breakthroughs to take place? You're taking a little bit of a risk here, right?
Well, these breakthroughs are kind of, they'll happen. They might take a while, but they should happen.
And you believe that because?
They're all, science has gone so far so fast, and also these are not holograms or something like that, transporters. These already have scientific basis. They just need to be improved.
So holograms and transporters, that's insane, but nano radio transmitters in the brain, we're close to that.
Holograms and transporters aren't insane.
They aren't insane, okay.
not just-
But they're out there.
Yeah.
All right, great. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you would do first to actually bring this to fruition. What piece of this would you be most interested in researching, Joy? Is it the brain cells part? Is it the shoe part? Is it the software?
The thing about this is they're all kind of combined. So if you just research one of them, the idea won't go anywhere. So it all needs to be together.
Yes, because
Yes.
every part of the project is connected to, in
Probably
some
the-
way is connected to the rest of the project, right?
Probably one of the most important parts is the transmitters, which need to become, in the breakthroughs I said, biologically compatible and more efficient. Those are probably what we'd want to start research on before we go proceed to other stuff.
Now, how did you, as a team, meet?
We have been at the same school for 4 years
Yeah.
at Jefferson.
Yeah.
So we knew each other, and then when I had the idea, I just thought Joy could help. And then because
Wait, you had the idea and you thought Joy could help? Is it for sure?
she was the
Yes.
kind of help with the autism part. Like she researched the autism part for like her your video website.
And how do you work together? Is he easy to work with? Is Joy easy to work with? This isn't a radio-controlled bug here that's been on the stage,
know.
is it? You didn't bring a nanotechnology out here. That's a real
No.
bug. Okay, great. Anyway, are you guys easy to work together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
Very well.
Yes, very well.
See, I'm a news guy. I gotta cause problems here. That's my whole idea. How much did your parents help you with this?
My mom and dad were extremely helpful. Like when I had also my siblings, when I had questions or something like that, I'd ask, and then there would be a discussion and stuff like that.
You live in a house full of nanotechnologists and brain researchers and
No.
shoe manufacturers. Right? No. What would happen if you lost your shoes and had this system?
Well, it's not exactly a shoe it's more like something that would be on your foot and would have special shoes to go along with it.
It's the computer that matters.
Yeah, because if you had a shoe, it'd be uncomfortable just to walk around every day with a shoe on, in your house or all those stuff. So
Right.
It's more kind of like a mold or something along that line. So.
Well, certainly. I mean, designs of onboard prosthetics that will work with a variety of disabilities is really what the next century is going to be about. I mean, I hesitate to ask, what do you guys want to be when you grow up? I mean,
I want to be a computer engineer, and I've wanted to be for a while.
for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
A while. Like all your life, right?
Yeah.
He does all the.
All the 11 years.
Yeah.
So he's the one who does all the science-related stuff and everything, and I'm more into things like music and the arts and stuff like that.
And well, good for you. Good for you. Sounds like you are a great team. Let's give them a big round of applause.